Okay, so welcome back to another episode of Talking YouTube, a podcast where I'm joined every week by new and existing YouTubers to talk about their journeys as content creators. And this week, I am joined by Tracy from Life in the Wild West, who
Mhm.
has very recently passed the epic milestone of 1,000 subscribers. And we're both laughing right now because I just did this whole introduction and then went on to speak to Tracy for at least 2 minutes before realizing I hadn't actually gone live. So you can
Oh,
tell I'm still learning. So,
oh,
Tracy, once again, for the second time this evening, thanks for joining me. And it's so good to have you with me. I've been watching your channel now for, well, several weeks, and you've been watching my videos equally, I expect. So,
yes.
welcome. It's so good to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here, Jay. I'm equally as nervous and very excited. And thank you for having me.
No problem at all. It's been an absolute pleasure watching your content over the last few weeks and even months now. I say we've already got a few people in the chat, so hello everyone. It's great to have you back, Catherine. Thank you so much for joining me again. Nancy, Tin, if that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry if it's not. Tracy, you are one of these people on YouTube that kind of defies all of the rules because there's a saying out there that you can be the niche, and for the most part, I don't believe that to be true. But you are the exception because you have built a successful channel, basically just being yourself and documenting your life, which I think is really awesome. How has that been for you? And have you ever questioned that as a decision, or is it just you being you and you're happy with that? And
I've questioned it more than you know. And recently, very recently, after watching Rob's latest, Rob the Maritimer's latest video, it
yeah,
had me questioning myself even more. And it led me to making a video yesterday where I sort of asked my viewers, like, what can I give you that is of value to you to not waste your time? Because I really highly respect him, as a fellow creator and a successful creator.
he
And
is awesome.
yeah, and so I especially questioned it just coming back off my vacation. I was gone for a while, and I thought, oh, I'm not, I think that we all have room to evolve and grow and change. And I don't want to get stuck in a way, but I always want to be authentic to me.
Yeah.
So I put the question out there yesterday.
Well, I think it's really important that we do remain authentic to ourselves, and especially for someone like yourself, because you have grown an audience. And I know you've often, and forgive me, it's really hot in the UK at the moment. Anyone who's here will know. So I might be sweating a little bit because I don't have air conditioning, unfortunately. But you have grown a channel, like I've said, to over 1,000 subscribers, which is no mean feat. And you've done that by being yourself. Now, you've often said to me, or you've alluded to the fact that you feel like your channel isn't good enough in some ways.
Mhm.
But the numbers speak for themselves. The subscriber count, the amount of views you get, the amount of likes you get, the comments that people leave on your channel. So you just being you is obviously working for you. So I think while it's important to, as you say, respect your viewers' time when it comes to making content,
Mhm.
I know personally there are people out there like I'll use Kevin Colby for example. He made a video recently that was I don't know 38 minutes long, and I was almost sad that it was finished. So
Oh,
I don't think that you always have to stick to those so-called rules that people
uh-huh.
talk about. So I would hate for you to change dramatically. But
Mhm.
I know what you mean. I mean, did you have any ideas in the direction that you wanted to take your channel, or is it just a thought that you've had that,
Well, I actually spent some time answering some of the I'm gonna fly in here questions, and there was some really good advice. Actually, you gave me some good advice.
like,
Um, you said about speaking maybe sometimes about my struggles, and I have a little bit about done of that, but there's I get a f- I'm have a huge fear of sharing real struggles that people then will judge me and not want to watch.
hmm,
But
I think the opposite, to be honest.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that I've spoken about this in so many of my videos, but human beings connect with human beings,
Hmm.
and people like you. If
Hmm.
people, it's really difficult to grow a YouTube channel if people don't like you. And by sharing your struggles, whether that's as a YouTuber or as a person, you're 10 times more likely to grow an audience. So I think that fear is really unfounded, if you ask me.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What made you start your YouTube channel? Because it's not exactly, I know that you've said previously you're an introvert, and
Mhm.
you'd think that putting yourself on the internet is the last thing that somebody who's introverted would want to do. So tell me, talk to me about that. What really made you start, and how has that been for you as an introvert?
Well, I'm going to start by saying, first of all, it was because I was a major consumer of YouTube.
Yeah,
I loved watching it, and what I mostly loved watching was vloggers and people's stories. And I thought, well, I'm going to be leaving my job of 31 years soon, and I'm sort of entering a new chapter. And I have always had a love of documenting by filming and taking photographs and journaling. And I thought this could be another way for me to sort of do that, but like in a moving way, because there's
mm,
nothing better than moving and hearing someone's voice for sort of like a legacy. So there was a part of me that wanted to do it like that.
yeah,
And then of course, as you start getting into it and finding other creators and actually connecting with people that are people just like me and you, and then you realize like, whoa, there's other parts to this. And also again, coming back to giving my viewer something of value. Maybe they don't want to watch me documenting and making my legacies, but I feel like maybe I can do both still. um,
you definitely can.
like a lot of times the beginnings of my videos, which I often also think like, oh, people are clicking off by now because it's a lot of the film, the just kind of like moments of my life, what I call the little big things. And I like to kind of have that as a segue in, because I know years from now I can look back and just kind of see these pieces of my life that were special to me.
I think that's one of the best motivations to start it, to be honest. Um, and like you say, you mentioned that your intros aren't gonna, hook people
Mhm.
like we expect a YouTube video should.
Mhm.
But there are so many different types of YouTube video. It's not just, the hard and fast. You're going to get information from this video, and you know, there's videos like yours. There's vlogs. There's literally thousands of different styles out there. So there
Mhm.
isn't one rule that fits all. Let
Sure.
me just say that. Like I said, I've spoken to the fact that your numbers really speak for themselves. But I think that's a really good motivation to start a YouTube channel. So, what would you say to anyone who's feeling shy? Perhaps they're an introvert too. Perhaps they're not really confident about starting a channel.
Mhm.
Maybe they don't think that anyone would be interested in watching them talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. What would you say to them today?
Well, I would definitely say to do it. I would say to be brave and to step in front of it, because not only does it, this is going to sound really strange, but it almost feels therapeutic as an introvert to have a channel. I've often said I found my voice here. It's a way for me to express myself. And it's not that scary, because you're just looking at like a a little green,
Yeah,
nobody's actually there. So you can be I can be my full self. Now, I know that with the camera rolling, sometimes you amp up your voice, or, you kind of have a camera presence, and I do that. But I also
hmm,
have moods where I'm kind of low and I kind of come on low, and just however I'm feeling, I come on that day. Um, but I say do it. Like if you are even thinking about it, do it.
yeah. I have to echo that statement. And contrary to what you might think, I'm actually an introverted person myself. So
Mhm.
when I started my channel, I've made jokes about this in previous videos. I've kind of done impressions of myself on camera when I started, but they're pretty accurate, to be honest. Camera confidence was something that I had to learn, and that's why I've made videos on it, because I know what I've learned, I can really help other people that might be feeling the same way. But it seems to me like you never had a problem with that. apart from perhaps slipping into what I call presenter mode, which
Mhm,
I still do.
mhm.
I do now and again. I've tried my best to stop doing that. But it's something that everyone's going to do.
It's funny you mentioned that because that is the very first video I saw of you was how to be confident on camera.
Yeah.
And you know, as long as I've been doing it, like it spoke to me like, yeah, like just there's I don't know. I just think it takes tons of practice and you just have to keep showing up and showing up and like they say, the more you do something, the easier it becomes.
Yeah.
Um, just
Yeah.
like
I've
these
made 30
lessons.
videos, I think, before I even got to the stage where I was anywhere near
Mhm.
looking like a normal person on a camera.
Yeah, I want to put a lot of my old ones like you know, put them on private because it's great. I hope it's vastly different, you know, from the 2 years ago to now, you know?
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel, and I'm just replying to Nicola in the comments because she said
Okay.
something very kind. Um, but yeah, I know exactly how you feel because I have often wrestled with going back through my library of videos as I've improved and as I've learned lots of lessons on my YouTube journey. I've wanted to go back, and in some cases I have, and I've put videos on private because I feel like they're not good enough anymore. And it's
Mhm,
that perfectionism that can really eat away at you as a YouTuber, and it has. Well, it has for me.
mhm.
So I recently I've recently gone back and unprivated some of my older videos because I thought, you know what, I'm just going to let them sit there as a testament to how far I've come. So anyone that does come to my channel, if they so happen to stumble across an older video, then so be it. You
Oh
know,
gosh, I
I
love
think
that.
we should just be proud of the journey rather than trying to just outwardly present this perfect presenter or YouTuber or whatever it is you're trying to do. And I'm sure other people might agree with that.
Yeah, and it shows our growth. You're right. It shows how kind of how far we've come and how far we have to go. Like even now, like I have so much room for improvement. And I love learning from other creators and learning from you because there's always room to improve.
Well, likewise, I learn from you as well
Mhm,
because in many ways, and I've always been open about this, I am a new content creator documenting my journey as a
mhm,
YouTuber and sharing the lessons from the countless failures that I've experienced. So for me, when I can look at somebody with, the experience you've got running a YouTube channel, there are things that I can learn from you 100%. So don't feel like it's just one way because it isn't.
thank
Even
you.
the videos where you're just talking about your life or whatever it is,
Mhm.
there are things that I can learn from those videos that really help me with my channel. Or even more important is I can watch a video of yours when I'm in a really crap mood and it can really lift me up. So don't ever underestimate that because
Aw.
YouTube is about so many different things.
Mhm,
We've got people in the chat right now. There are so many different styles of channel there, and it's not just about learning how to be a YouTuber or learning how to cook or learning engineering or whatever it is.
mhm.
There are lessons we can learn from people as humans as well, which is so important. It's the most important part of growing a channel, in my opinion.
I love that. And you know, I always say, and it's so true. And Emmy says it a lot too. That there's room for all of us, like to because we're all so different, as you're saying. And like you're saying, you could be in a mood and say, "Oh, I want to watch this," or maybe today I'm looking to know how to do something, and you search it out, or just depending on what it is. Like there's room for all of us.
Exactly, yeah.
Mhm.
And for anyone that doesn't know, the Imi that Tracy's referring to is Imogen. She's in the comments. She runs a lovely channel called the Number One Ladies Club. I know she's been wrestling with changing the name. I'm not sure of the motivation now. I think it might be because she's got quite a few male audience members, which is very very considerate. But I'll admit, without shame, that I am a member of the Number One Ladies Club, and I enjoy watching her videos from time to time. So
Oh, I love it. I love
make of
it.
that what you will.
I
So about your videos, I've been meaning to ask you this because you're really good at adding lots of different footage, putting it all together in a storytelling way. I know it's called B-roll, obviously, but how do you manage to do that? Do you use a video editing software? Do you have a process in place? Do you think about it before you do it, or do you just kind of put your day in a chronological order and go for it?
Oh my gosh, that's such a great question. Because, first of all, I'd like to say when I first started my channel, I didn't even know what B roll meant.
Hmm.
And that is the honest to goodness truth. Someone once said to me, "Have you thought about putting B roll in?" And I thought, what the heck is that? I had to like Google it, like, what's B roll? And then I figured it out and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. And so I considered paying for a site to use their B roll and pull it in.
Yeah.
And then I thought, that doesn't feel, it's good for some channels, but it didn't feel authentic for me and for my channel. I wanted my B-roll to be things that were actually part of my life. So I just go through the day. I like to look for what I, again, call the little big things. And I'm constantly filming. Even when I'm not filming for YouTube, I'm just like, oh, this moment's so beautiful. And then I like look at kind of what I've had and I'm like, oh, I think I can pull this in for an intro. Sometimes it's more deliberate, like if I'm, making my coffee in the morning or folding a crane or, it just depends on what it is. But it's always on my footage and I don't use any outside extra anything.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
But there is, I guess, there's a downside to that is the fact that you're always plugged in to a camera.
That is true.
Do you
That
find
is
that difficult? Do you find
that is
switching off difficult?
yeah, I have to say, and this has been the truth about me even before YouTube. Um, I always have had a camera in front of my face, whether it be a DSLR, a film camera, uh, Betamax, whatever camera. I've always had a camera in front of my face because I kind of view myself as an outsider. Like I'm always on the outside looking in. And my family probably really, I think they're used to it now. But even I'll just take this recent example of visiting our daughter in Idaho. And we got out of the airport and I was fumbling like with my phone because I use my phone. I use an iPhone only right now. And
Very valid.
it was very bright out. And you know how you can't see the display when it's bright out? So I was fumbling with it, trying to get the moment of her getting out of the car and running to us. Does that take the genuine part out of it? Well, not for me because this is how I've done my life. So naturally, she knows to run to her dad first because he's the available parent for the hug while I'm filming it. It sounds so weird, but it is exactly how I've been for most of our life.
Well,
Uh,
that's true to you then, isn't it? I
mhm.
know it can be difficult sometimes because you can feel like, especially when you are the niche, as you are, whether you like to admit that or not, it's true. So you have to kind of, I suppose, be aware and conscious of the fact that your YouTube channel could encroach on your family life somewhat.
Definitely does, Jay. I can't say that it doesn't. It definitely does. And my family is very supportive in this channel. My partner, Rich, my spouse, he wouldn't prefer to be in it, but he will be in it sometimes. And it's all up to them, but they're all pretty much like supportive. They all, most of them watch. I was gonna say they all, but they don't all watch. But uh, I don't know. I just think they know it's part of their lives because, like I said prior to that, I was always filming and making films. Even before YouTube, I was editing and films together for our family.
Yeah, well, I think obviously you've made it work for yourself and it's something that you're used to now. By the way, Imogen said you're an amazing filmmaker. Just thought I'd let you know. And
Oh,
I have to agree with her as well. I think your videos are really interesting and well put together. So for me, I'm newer and I'm not used to being on camera, like I said. And the whole YouTube thing, it can be very consuming of a person, especially when you're putting so much effort into it and you really want it to do well. So for me, I have in the past found it difficult to turn off, and I've been guilty of going around everywhere with a camera. My wife gets really annoyed. Every single opportunity is oh, I'll take my camera just in case something comes to me. And I was speaking to Naz at a new creator club who I was on with last week on this
mhm.
podcast. He gave me some advice and he said basically just to schedule YouTube into your life. I'm paraphrasing here, but to schedule YouTube into your life and don't let YouTube control you. And it's something I really echoed in a recent video of mine because it can be so consuming. It's 24/7 if you let it. You've got it on your phone. You can upload a video and then sit there for days looking at the analytics, reading comments, replying to comments, watching other people's videos, watching YouTube advice videos, even, it really, there is no end to it.
Mhm.
So putting the controls on that on that impulse, it has been a real challenge for me. So that's why I asked you the question, if you find it taking over sometimes, because I noticed that you kind of film almost every aspect of your day, which for
I
some might
do.
be a bit much,
And
but obviously not for you.
I have to say though that like say when I was just away recently, I didn't go on YouTube once. I didn't address any of my comments, and I did enjoy the time while I was away. Um, so I mean, I do have a little bit of separation, even though I always have my camera rolling, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So
that's fair enough.
yeah,
Well,
um,
it's the mental aspect of YouTube that I've really come to appreciate and lean into with a lot of the things that I like to talk about, because when I first started my channel, I thought it was very black and white. You make a video, upload it does what it does, and then you move on.
mhm.
But it's so much more than that. There's late nights, there's the editing, there's the scripting, there's the filming, we all know, anyone in this chat who has a YouTube channel, and I think that's pretty much everyone there,
Mhm.
everyone knows how much work goes into this. It can be a lot.
Yeah, I watched on replay your live last week. And I remember you saying in there like that you dream about it and you're constantly thinking about it. And that is a real true thing for, I think, a creator. And then I love the advice that Naz gave you, because um, we kind of do have to be conscious of that, and to kind of have your real life and your YouTube life. Because it can, like you said, it's so easily to get all consumed in.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah,
also as introverts too, because that's kind of our tendency, to get all into the what you're into.
yeah. Well, I'm quite an obsessive person, so I'm all in or all out really. So
Yeah.
it's difficult, and that's why I made that last video. And going back to what you said about sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes my videos are high energy, and I'm jumping around all over the place like a madman.
Yeah.
People in the village think I've lost my mind. You know. And then other times I'm sitting down in a chair talking, in
Mhm,
quite a low voice, and I'm
mhm,
feeling a little bit,
mhm,
introverted and introspective. So
mhm.
going back to that, I think that it's okay to have a variation. You don't always have to be in that presenter mode. You don't always, because that's human, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
That
so
is being a human.
yeah, because think about it, like, even if you go to, like, a social gathering, you're kind of, like, in a different you kinda turn it up a bit, or I do, like, I'm not my normal self that I'm at home. When I go out and am going to I don't go to a lot of parties, okay, I don't do that, but, like, social gatherings, you kinda, like, kinda turn it up a bit. Do you?
Yeah, yeah. Because regardless of how you need to be yourself, I guess there is a certain element of, if I'm going to start a YouTube channel, if I'm going to go to a party and I walk in and I go, yeah, yeah, yeah. Who's gonna want to talk to me? And it's similar
Right.
with YouTube, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, totally.
Who's gonna want to watch a video of me? If every single video I uploaded was me sitting there talking about how miserable I am, or how much of a bad week I've had on YouTube, while it's relatable,
Mhm.
people don't want doom and gloom all the time. So it's good to have a balance, I think.
I loved in one of your videos where you said, like, you do a lot of Zoom meetings with your job, and how having a YouTube channel has even, enriched those meetings with you the way you present.
Yes, it has. Yeah, it has. I'm going to circle back to that question because
Okay.
I'm aware that we've got an audience here, and I've been asked a question by Dawn, um, whose channel name never fails to make me laugh.
I
But
know.
she's asked what what do I enjoy the most, or what do we enjoy the most about making YouTube videos, and what is the least favorite part? I think for me, without a shadow of a doubt, and it's going to sound really cheesy, but it's true. It's the community, and it's engaging with all of the different people who have come to watch my videos, but also watching other people's content. And I feel like I'm part of their lives somehow.
Mhm.
Because for me, as I'm getting older, my social life is kind of shrinking a little bit. I'm going to a party tomorrow, It's the first time I've been to a party in 2 years, just to give you an idea. So
Wow.
I live quite a simple, quiet life in a small, very small village in England. So YouTube has opened me up to hundreds of people that I wouldn't have otherwise had access to. So that's my favorite part of YouTube. Obviously, there's the vanity metrics of saying, "Oh, I've had 100 people comment on my video." That makes you feel good, but it's the details within the comments and the connections that I make. Like with you, or like with Naz or anyone that I've spoken to or had interactions with. That for me, that is the most amazing thing about YouTube, and it's the most hidden and or the most unexpected aspect of having a YouTube channel. And I'm sure many of you watching this can relate to that. But my least favorite part, I think, going back to what I was saying about how it can really be consuming if I don't keep a lid on it. How about you, Tracy? What's your favorite part about making YouTube videos?
Yeah, I hate to piggyback off you, but it's so true because when I first started, there was no community for me. I at least spent a good 6 months of creating with like maybe getting one comment. It was from my mom.
Hmm.
And so then all of a sudden, when I found the community, I was like, what is this? Like, really? I call it the silver lining of being a creator. Like you said, it's people and like you're in England and Emmy's in England, and then there's people in Canada and
Yeah.
all over the place. And you're just like, wow, and they all have so much to offer. And so that is literally my favorite part too. And connecting in the comments. I love to get into the community, what they call the community page, and read comments and address them. Literally my favorite part. My least favorite part, uh, probably the time I spend editing, which I love editing, but sometimes I get really sucked in and I lose track of time. And then I have to realize it's that balance of like, okay, I have a family, I got to cook dinner, I got to,
Yeah.
step away.
But I
So,
think also, I mean, you can always over edit your videos in some ways, I think.
mhm, mhm,
Um, there's a lot to be said about just not overdoing it because I've spent hours on videos before. I recently did a video teaching people how to vlog confidently in public in London.
mhm,
And whilst that kind of video really does need a lot of editing because there's lots of different moving parts and I'm out and about and I'm making lots of mistakes, some of the best videos from an objective metrics point of view have been just I've hit record and then I've uploaded it. There's you can over edit a video in so many ways, and there's a healthy middle ground there. I think if a video is taking you longer than a day to make, then I think it's probably taken you too long, and I've been guilty of that in the past.
in the beginning, oh my goodness, I'm so glad they took it away. I used an app called Video Leap, and it was strictly on my phone, and I edited all my videos on my phone. And they had something called stickers, and they were like animations you could pull in. Oh, Jay, I totally would overdo it with the animations. I just little things here and there, and even my family was like, what, "This is like too much."
Yeah, so it's almost like very 2006, like
Yeah,
Facebook sort of
exactly.
stuff.
And I was like, "Oh, this is so fun." And then they took it away, and then thank the Lord they did because it was not good for my editing.
So with your editing, do you do most of it on your phone?
The first year and a half of my channel, I did everything on here.
Wow.
Filming, editing, everything. Comments. I didn't have a laptop. And about 6 months ago, my awesome motorcycle man said, uh, you know what? I think you need a laptop because I think you're really going to appreciate that with your eyes and just
Yeah.
having a bigger thing to do. So I edit now on my laptop, but I still film everything on my phone.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine editing anything on a mobile or cell phone, as you guys call it over there, but I couldn't imagine doing anything on a phone. Not only because my eyes are getting worse now, but just because of I don't know, it's just so cramped, isn't it?
oh, it
With a
is.
laptop,
It's
it's so
tiny,
easy.
so tiny, and it's just everything's with your fingers. There's no typing or anything.
Yeah.
Now I use iMovie because that's what came with the computer.
And it's a great piece of software. There's a lot to be said about simplicity as well. I moved from CapCut for reasons that I've detailed in the previous
Mhm.
videos, which is a shame because I liked it, but their terms of service have just completely pissed me off. And I thought, well, I'm not going to use that anymore. So I went over, I just jumped headfirst into Final Cut Pro. and that is a beast of a software. So in many ways, I kind of wish that I'd just gone to iMovie to start with, but you know, I've made the jump now, and I'm getting used to it. It's tricky. I won't be making any how-to videos anytime soon, that's for sure.
Yeah, I admire that though, Jay, to go into something like that and to learn something new, because that's going to be super awesome once you get it down.
Yeah, I think there's only a certain amount that I need from it. Like I said earlier, there's over editing that you can do. I'm trying now not to over edit my videos. If I need to put text on the screen, I will. If I want to add B-roll, I will. If I want to add music and fade ins and things, then I will. But I'm not going to be going mental anymore. But you mentioned that you use your phone for recording, for filming.
Mhm.
That's another thing that people really need to realize, that they don't need loads of fancy and expensive equipment to make a YouTube video, because I fell into that trap. I bought so many different cameras and lenses and microphones and all sorts of bits and pieces that I really didn't need. I was kind of wasted my money.
I don't know
So
if it's a waste of money, but you do have a point that you can do it without it. Although audio, I think is pretty important, and even my audio is very. I got a $20 microphone off Amazon. Um, but I think a bad sounding video sometimes can be off-putting. Like if you
yes,
literally can't hear it, you know?
yes. I mean, that's one thing that's so important, audio, and I've mentioned that in previous videos I've made, because it's something I learned early on. My first videos were just my phone pointed at my, selfie camera kind of thing,
Mhm.
talking to the microphone from about 5 feet away, and it sounded awful. And I had to learn really quickly that good audio is one of the staples. So you don't need expensive equipment, but even a good microphone doesn't have to cost you a lot of money, does it? Like your one's really good.
No, I remember asking you about my microphone because it was only $20. And I think you said it was decent, is what you told
Yeah,
me.
it is. Yeah, because I had that microphone. I saw the one you had,
You do?
and I had it. Yeah, and I actually gave it away in a video because I bought into this whole, oh, I need to upgrade my equipment. I'm a bit of a magpie. I see something shiny and I want it. So I bought this one, this DJI Mic 2. It's a
Uh,
great microphone. And I thought to myself, well, I don't really need this one anymore. So I gave it away as a kind of thank you, because I made a really long video, 20 minutes. And at the time, I couldn't believe that anyone would want to watch my content. So I said about 15 minutes in, if anyone's made it this far, just comment the word microphone and you can have this one.
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so I did, and I gave it away to a guy called I think it's Behan Burdus. His channel's really cool, and I think he's recently hit 1,000 subscribers. But I gave that away because I just didn't need it anymore. But ultimately, I don't think I needed to. I think I could have just kept that one and been happy.
Well, it's so cool because it just hooks in here, the adapter, and then you
Yeah,
just hear. But I have a question for you, kind of a
go on.
technical one.
Okay, I'll do my best.
When I place my microphone, I've noticed when it's higher, it's not as good. It's more muffled. Is there an ideal place to put your microphone?
Yeah, so I mean, this one's quite heavy at the moment, so it pulls down my t-shirt slightly. But I was told to make this with your fist and hand. So do it now. Let's play along, and
Okay.
then put the thumb on the bottom lip, and
Mhm.
then that's where your microphone should go.
Ah, that's a good
And that
tip.
is more or less bang on. So
That is a
that's what
great.
I was told. If anyone in the comments thinks I'm talking crap, tell me. But that's what I was informed, and it seems to work for me. I've had it up here before, when I was wearing a jumper or a
Uh-huh.
sweater, and it sounded so loud, and you could hear all of the S's, and I think they call it sibilants
Hmm.
when it just distorts as you say different syllables.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's where you should wear it, so right there.
Okay.
So anyone who's wearing it up here, just don't put it there instead.
Sometimes though, I do this and I hold it like this.
Yeah,
What do
that's good. As long as you're not like in your mouth.
Oh, oh, you know what I wanted to ask you about too?
Yeah.
Um, a lot of times, and it's happened so much, it's insane to me. I get emails from people, they call them SEO experts, and they're like, "Hey, I can help you, da da da, get your numbers up and
Right.
optimize." You hear the word optimize. What is that
Yeah.
about?
Okay. Well, firstly, I mean, search engine optimization is what SEO stands for. It it kind of is important because YouTube's the second biggest search engine in the world and it's
Mhm.
owned by the first biggest search engine in the world, Google. But SEO isn't as important as making content that resonates with your viewers. So while there is something to be said about making a title
Mhm.
that people might search for, like how to do something or using keywords, and
Mhm.
then having some of those keywords in your description and possibly using tags, but I'll get to that in a second.
Oh, thank you.
None of that, none of that is going to make up for having a bad video or a video that no one wants to watch. And I've got evidence for that. There's a guy called Chad Lisenby who I've followed for quite some time now. He got to 100,000 subscribers in 5 months. He doesn't use hashtags. And in some videos, he doesn't even put a description. There's a reason for that. It's because he makes videos that people watch and they watch to the end and they like and they comment. And it's that audience engagement that's going to drive your growth on YouTube more than anything else. And recently the CEO of YouTube, Imogen put me onto this,
Hmm.
said you should replace the word algorithm with audience. And the best way to grow a YouTube channel is by connecting with people and having them like your videos and watch your videos. It doesn't matter what you put in your title or description or whatever hashtags you do or do not use, it means nothing. So these people that email you, whether or not they've got good intentions, I'd like to suspect that for the most part they probably don't.
Hmm.
I think they're probably just looking to make money off people that are gullible or people that have bought into all of the clickbait and believe that somehow they can magically optimize their videos with words and they're going to reach millions of people. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, you saying that brings me to a new creator that I found. Her name is Rose, and she shared a video recently, and she said she was a bit ashamed to share it, but I'm glad that she did because she said that she paid somebody to get views, and she got views. She said she got lots of views, like over 400 views per video, which she wasn't getting. But
Okay.
the problem was they were from all different countries and they were only watching her videos for a few seconds and then clicking off.
Yep, that'll tank your channel.
Right,
That'll
that's what she said.
tank your channel because you pay for these, these views
Mhm,
and you will get views and they will watch your video for maybe 2 or 3 seconds and then
mhm.
click off. It's bot accounts, basically automated accounts.
Oh, wow.
Or if best case scenario, it's people that are going around with a list of channels that they've been paid to watch. They'll open the channel and then they'll click off it and watch the next one. And
Wow.
what that does, it tells YouTube that somebody's clicked on your video and hasn't liked it. And when hundreds of people do that, it tells YouTube that your video is crap and it won't push your video out to anyone else. So imagine if you've got 400 views but no one's watching past 10 seconds.
That's devastating.
Your reach is going to be limited and no genuine people are going to find your video.
Mhm.
Or even if they do, they're going to be diluted into a crowd of, you know, that I think I saw the post you were talking about and she was talking about illegal views. I think the terminology she was using, but that's what she meant, was it bots or paid for
Mhm.
viewers? Yeah, never do that.
Yeah, that feels devastating. And but that being said, I'm sure glad she was brave to make a video about it. Because gosh, people need to know this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There are a lot of people that just don't know.
Hmm.
And equally, there are people out there that will prey on people that might not know.
Hmm.
And people that are desperate or people that are really, well, yeah, desperate or just naive, I guess is the word. I don't want to be horrible, but if you don't know and if you're not, savvy with these things and if you haven't spent a stupid amount of time researching this stuff, or if you haven't spoken to anyone that's ever warned you about it, I understand there are people out there that can be fooled and parted with their money thinking it's going to do them a favor, but ultimately there are no shortcuts. There is no easy mode. There's no way to grow a channel really other than just making good content.
And and that kind of brings me back to you, Jay. Like, what made it to where you wanted to make videos that were helpful to other creators? Like, what made you fall into that niche?
Yeah, so I saw that. I think Dawn asked me a similar question a minute ago, and I'm sorry, Dawn, I didn't get around to answering it because we were
Oh,
talking. But the reason I make the videos I do now is because I think I answered this last week, so I won't go into it too much.
mhm.
but I've got ADHD, so I find it difficult to concentrate on one thing for a long time. But
Mhm.
throughout my life, I've always had various different interests, and I'll have an interest for about 3 seconds, and then I'll move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But YouTube itself was that vehicle to feed me with the content that I wanted to consume based on whatever it was I was interested in. So I just kind of thought, well, I'm going to grow a YouTube channel and I'm going to see how I get on with it. And I enjoy YouTube, I enjoy making videos, but I don't really want to be penned into one thing. So why not just do the whole thing and make YouTube itself my niche,
Mhm.
which came with its own challenges because you kind of don't want to sound like you're an expert, which I'm not. You don't want to sound like you're an expert trying to preach to people when you've got 2 followers or 2 subscribers. It's difficult. I'm not really sure where to look because I'm so used to looking at the camera when I'm talking, but you're on that screen, so I'm just going to look at you on that
Okay.
screen.
I know I've
Um,
been looking at you.
yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So
Mhm.
sorry everyone. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I chose the niche I did, and it's a really easy one for me because it's every single time I make a video, I learn something, and every time I learn something, I can make a video about that lesson.
Mhm.
So it's like a self-fulfilling cycle of challenges and lessons that I can share and help other people with the same challenges. And then also I then have other people messaging me or commenting with their own problems
Mhm.
in relation to YouTube. And there's one thing that unites all YouTubers, right? That is YouTube, isn't it? So
Mhm.
you're not limited just to one niche. That's why I now know people that have so many different niches, and I think ultimately it's been a good choice for me.
Well, what I love about your channel is you do all the research for me. I'm not one to want to, it's just overwhelming to me to look up things like that and to research. So it's kind of a convenient way for me. It's like, I trust Jay. I know Jay has my best interest at heart. Honestly, that's what I feel. And I almost like more going to you, Jay, than someone who's like gigantic, big right now. Although I think you're going to get there, to be honest. I think you're going to get big,
Thanks.
but it's just like there's more like a personal connection that I can have with your channel, which is more of a teaching channel, than someone who might be really big and not really care about me, you know?
Yeah, there's something to be said about that because a lot of channels they will tell you what you want to hear to get you in their lane,
Hmm.
whether that's to sell a course or whether it is, or just to drive views. Because if I was to start doing sensationalized, clickbait type videos
Hmm.
saying, oh, 5 hacks to blow up your channel or how to get 1,000 subscribers in 7 days or something like that.
Hmm.
Well, firstly, I haven't lived it, so how can I make a video like that? But secondly, that's not being genuine, is it? Because you just get people that are desperate or really, really clinging on to the hope that that one thing, that one secret, that this algorithm hack is going to really skyrocket their channel. And then they do that and it doesn't work. And
Hmm.
that's, I couldn't think of anything worse. I've got something called empathy.
Yeah.
I'm a new creator myself. I know what it feels like. I know the challenges that we face. I
Hmm.
couldn't imagine trying to basically con people, is the way I see it. Now, there are channels out there, big channels, that do teach really good constructive advice.
Hmm.
Some of them mix it up a little bit with a little bit of clickbait, and I guess that's just the nature of YouTube. You do have to be able to draw somebody to watch your video,
Hmm.
but there's a healthy balance there, I think.
I agree.
So I appreciate what you're saying about my content style, but I've still got a lot to learn, which
As we
is
all
exactly, and that's part of it, right? It's about sharing the journey
do. Hmm.
as a YouTuber.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I appreciate what you're saying, and it looks like a few people are agreeing with me.
Oh,
But
good.
yeah,
Good.
Ty Myers is a really great guy, and he's very very genuine and very very humble and very transparent in what he's teaching.
Hmm.
So if you haven't come across Ty, I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I,
I don't know if I have.
I'll share it with you afterwards.
Right.
He's a good guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that, after a while. I didn't even know about any of this when I started my channel. I like to say I jumped into the deep end. I have a brother who's a creator. I don't know if people know that.
No.
And yeah, he started his channel a little bit after me. Well, actually a year after I did. because he wanted to make sure he had the best equipment. He wanted to make sure he researched everything. And then there was me who said, "Oh, I want a channel." And I just went, "Boom, let's do this." But as I was creating and making a channel, I started seeing these other channels similar to yours, like, oh, okay, I should be doing this. I have to tell you, I still don't even know. You said keywords. I don't
Mm.
use keywords. I don't even know what that means, Jay.
Well, that's because you kind of don't have a niche, do you? You are you, and you make videos about your life, which is the
Yeah.
what draws people to you and what people like to see. So keywords would be, I don't know, say for example, I did a video about camera confidence.
Uh-huh.
Well, I want to use the word camera and probably confidence in the title and
Okay.
probably in the description. But I don't, so it's about that. It's not, it's more for the YouTube algorithm, although I hate talking about that, but it's more for the algorithm and search indexing than it is for the human. So
Okay.
it's about mixing that up with the human aspect, which is what people are going to click on. So if I just had a video called camera confidence, it's not very interesting, is it?
No.
No. So you'd have to mix in the keywords with the title and the description. But like I said, it is important. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as important as making videos that people connect with. And the YouTube CEO himself said that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that was all new to me about the algorithm replacing that word with audience.
Yeah, because the algorithm is there to serve
Yeah.
people content that they want to see. So if people like your videos, it will push it out to more people.
Mhm.
It's that simple.
I have another question for you. I just because I feel like you're the expert. So can I just ask you
Well,
these
I'm not,
questions?
but I'm happy to answer the questions because there might be people that want to know. And also, I've got a couple of questions in the chats, which I'll jump to after your question,
Okay,
Tracy.
this is my question because I only just recently found out about this. And I mentioned it in my last video. Noelle with Gen X Gal, I think she's here, um, told me about vidIQ. I didn't know about that. What
Yeah.
is your thoughts about vidIQ?
As a channel or as a
Yeah,
as a
as a
plugin?
she sent me a link and it was a free link and all of a sudden it's kind of analyzing my videos. Like
Okay.
if I put a title, it's going to be like it almost scores my title. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that it's got its uses. I don't use it personally.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with using it, but I wouldn't obsess about it. I wouldn't make it the be all and end all because the analytics and the analytics app is a kind of big beast. But the fact is, if people are watching your videos, like, if there's a large portion of your viewers that are watching your videos till the end,
Mhm.
that's all you really need to know, isn't it? But equally, if everyone's dropping off your video within 10 seconds, then what does that tell you? It tells you that your intro's not right. You're not delivering what the person was promised with
Mhm.
the title. You haven't got a strong hook. So for me, I feel like I can get the information that I need from the analytics or the raw data from my videos, and
Mhm.
not even going into too much detail. Like I said, if people are watching the majority of my video, I know that that video is quite engaging. If people are not dropping off after 30 seconds, I know the intro is okay.
Mhm.
If I've got a relatively high click-through rate, I know that the thumbnail and the title is good. So it, I don't use it myself, but there's nothing wrong with using it. But I don't think it's going to be a massive game changer for most people, unfortunately. And again, it's one of them things that people like to, and I don't want to cause any offence here if anyone's using it because there are reasons to do so. I
Mhm.
just think that people will cling on to anything they can to try and give them that edge. If I'm being really brutally honest.
I have to say, once I clicked it, I started questioning a lot of myself, and I started being like, oh, like the keywords. I'm like, what do they want? What am I supposed to be putting here? And it almost became like a anxiety for me, uh, to kind of like do everything right.
Yeah, it can work for some people, and if you've got a very focused channel and it's talking about one particular thing, then maybe that might work for you. But like we've said, you kind of are the niche on your channel, so
Thanks for saying
I
that.
don't. It's true. I don't know what keywords you could use other than what Tracy West. I mean,
Yeah.
what your videos are all so different and they're all about different things.
Mhm.
Although maybe some people might be drawn into a certain video based on what you're talking about in that video. So that's what if you're talking about a certain subject in a video, then maybe it would be wise to perhaps capitalize on the fact that you're talking about something that people want to hear. So
Mhm.
that's where a keyword could come in your title and your description, because then YouTube will serve that to people that might want to hear what you're talking about.
Mhm.
But I think the fact is, and this conversation has proven it, it is such a complex beast. There are so many moving parts to making a good YouTube video
Mhm.
and growing and running a channel
Mhm.
that no one person has all of the answers, and there isn't a right or a wrong for many people.
Mhm.
And that's not what people want to hear. They want to hear, do this and your views will skyrocket and you will become a millionaire by next week.
Mhm.
That's what they want to watch. It's tricky, isn't it? It's a
Mhm.
tricky balance.
Mhm. What were some of the questions that were coming in you wanted to address?
Well, one of them I had from Gen X Gal, and I think that's the lady you just spoke about. And she
Well,
she said, "Can you talk about the sad face thumbnails versus the happy smiley face? Fascinating topic. What's she talking about, Tracy?"
I know what she's talking about. We just had a discussion about this, and it is crazy, I'm telling you. So, we both had recently put up a video, and I did a tester on YouTube of which video I did put in 3, and actually, I know this isn't accurate now because it takes days or like 12 days or more to actually make it accurate, but it pushes these videos out, and the ones that mostly were being seen that I saw were the ones where I had like this distressed look on my face and it was a negative title. She had a video out and she switched the thumbnail and actually kind of went viral after she did that. It was crazy. That people were kind of looking more for that drama, that kind of
Yeah,
like, you know?
yeah. Uh, that's something I've really found, that it's almost like negativity sells.
Mhm.
Well, not negativity, but emotion sells. And people, if you're having a bad day, and for some reason people can relate to that more than if you're really happy.
Mhm.
I watched a video recently, it had millions of views. I think maybe 2 or 3 million views. And it was a video of some guy mopping a floor in a petrol or a gas station. And it was just him recording himself doing his job, doing a night shift in a gas station. And he was just kind of like, "Oh, my life's so shit. I hate my life. Oh God, I've just spilt all them beers. My boss is going to kill me in the morning." And it was that. And for
Mhm.
some reason, that had millions of views.
Wow.
So I think that kind of emotion and people feeling sorry for you can drive an audience or can drive people to click.
Mhm.
So maybe, yeah, there's definitely something to that.
But at the same time, Jay, I don't want to make a weird, crazy thumbnail of me like having this. I drove me nuts when I first started YouTube to see all these people like, doing weird things and having like big words with letters. I don't know. It just seemed like too much. Like that's not normal life. And I didn't want to do it.
Well,
But they're getting
like,
the views?
yeah, but you've got to do you, haven't you? You've got to be authentic, because people will tell immediately if you're not being yourself.
Mhm.
I mean, like Judith said, dramas does sell. You don't have to do one thing constantly. You've got an interesting life with lots of lessons to teach.
Mhm.
They don't always have to be negative, but then you could always have a negative topic that ends with a lesson
Mhm.
of hope. It doesn't have to be, oh, the world's ending and there's nothing you can do about it.
Um,
You know.
I want to share something here. I on the last video I just did, and I'm still addressing comments, but I received a comment from someone named April who said they had been watching my channel for like a year and never missed a single video, and it was their very first comment. And they had some really great advice for me, and it was to that they love my channel and they won't miss an episode. However, that there's a part of me that's not relatable. And it's the second person who said this because it's too idealistic, my life, right? And so she suggested, how about if you do something, and it could be as simple as this, because I do have fear and I struggle with anxiety and I also have OCD. I don't talk about it on my channel. But what if I just got in the car and conquered one of my fears and sort of filmed it and shared it with my audience or with the viewers?
I think those videos would do very well.
Mhm.
I mean, Pete, I think that would do very well.
Mhm.
There's I know there's a kind of pressure on us as people to, and this isn't just about YouTube, this is about
Mhm.
life in general. Think about keeping up with the Joneses or making this outward appearance of yourself or wearing your Sunday best when you go to church. You want everyone to kind of see you as doing well. You've got clean clothes, your car's looking great, you know, your house, your front garden is immaculate. There's this outward appearance that we want to present to the world. That can drive a little bit of kind of resentment in some ways. So I do see what they're saying,
Mhm.
but you have to also realize that those people that have said that, they might just be in a really bad mood. They might have had a bad day, and they might be seeing you being your happy, jolly self as you are, just being you really. And they might hate that because they're not you, and they want to be you. They want to have that idealistic life, but they haven't got it. So rather than doing something about it, they just take out that frustration on you because you look happy. Human beings are weird, you know.
Yeah,
So I
that
wouldn't read too much into
was
that.
really kind, actually. It was a really kind, presented really kind. And they
Okay,
also explained themselves as if you were right. They are not in a good place themselves, but yet my channel brings them joy. But there is that part that, I think I want to start sharing a little bit more of not everything is good because everything hasn't always been good for me. And a lot of this has been a practice that I share with my viewers. And I don't know. I think that there just can be some reframing of my channel, to be honest.
maybe there's always things we can learn, and there are always things we can improve on. I think for you, you've got your audience, haven't you? Now you've got an audience of loyal people that like you because you're relatable, not just because you're fun and outgoing, because you're a real person, and that's what drives growth. But excuse me, I'm so sorry, everyone. I've been holding that cough in for a little while now. I think for you, if you wanted to really drive into that whole, like Kelly said, keyword aspect and reach more people,
Mhm,
think about problems you've faced in your life, real human relatable problems.
mhm,
Write down 5 problems, big ones that you've faced in your life,
mhm,
things that are going to be in your mind that you can talk about freely,
mhm,
and then think of a title for each of those if you were to talk about them problems and how you solve them problems to people,
mhm,
whatever they might be. I'm not going to go into examples here.
mhm,
And then make a video. This is the title, how I, whatever how I got over this,
mhm,
dealing with this, whatever it might be. So I'll use depression as an example, not because I think you're depressed, but it's just an easy one for me because I've suffered with it in the past.
mhm,
Dealing with depression in your 50s.
mhm,
And then your first line in the video would be, in this video, I'm going to share with you my journey with depression and how I battled it or how I got over it. I'm not trying to put a downer on the whole podcast, but that's just an example.
No, it is a
And
good.
then you go on to talk about how you got over that thing
Mhm,
in a very grounded and relatable and personal way. And then towards the end of the video, you can share some messages of hope and you can really end on a positive note. So people leave feeling good. They've got a lesson based on what it is they wanted to get. The message, the video is delivered what they clicked on the video for,
mhm.
and they leave your channel feeling good. They probably subscribe, they probably like, and they've probably watched most of it.
I think that is such great advice.
So you don't always have to do that. You don't always have to, give lessons on massive life achievements or things that you've gone through.
Mhm,
But if you sprinkle those in to your everyday, look how happy I am with my pot plants type
mhm.
videos. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm.
No, I know. That's because that's what I.
Yeah. So you can sprinkle that in, and you don't have to just do one thing or another because the variety of your channel and the videos that you have is what really drives people to you, and
Mhm,
what made me like you.
mhm.
So hopefully that's given you something to go away with.
I love it. It's a lot of, how do they say it? Fruit for thought. I think I always say that wrong.
Food for
Fruit,
thought, I think.
fruit. Yeah.
But we can say fruit. I think that sounds good.
You're right. Fruit is good. Yeah. Um, yeah. I feel like this has been so productive with you. Like, it's like a good time for me to ask all the questions that I have.
fire away, and you can always reach out to me. You've got my email anytime
Yeah.
you've got a question. If you ever want to go over some ideas, if you ever want to, even just basic stuff that you've got questions about, I'll always do my best to help you.
Mhm.
And anyone watching this channel, really, anyone who's ever struggling, needs some advice, or if they've got advice for me, if you ever watch a video of mine, and I'm talking to the audience now, if you ever watch a video of mine and you think, well, that was crap, you could probably do a better job by doing this, let me know. I'm not going to be offended.
Mhm.
So it's all about learning and supporting each other on that
Oh,
journey.
I feel the same way too. I noticed I misspelled something in a recent thumbnail. I noticed it like 3 days later. I was like, oh my gosh, I spelled that word wrong. And I was like, why didn't anyone tell me? Like, I would be okay if someone said, hey, you spelled that word wrong in your thumbnail, and then I could go back and change it, because we have that ability to change our thumbnail. I don't mind hearing it. I want to hear it, to be honest.
Yeah.
If someone has some good advice that can make me do something better, or can correct something, I want to hear it.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I mean, look, Gen X gal, I don't know her name, but she said her favorite Tracy video was where she sat under a big tree and just spoke from the heart.
mhm,
So go back, find that video, right? Find that video, identify what it is you're talking about in that video,
mhm,
the overarching topic, yeah? Change your title to reflect what the overarching topic of that video is,
mhm.
whatever that is.
You want me to
And
change
then
the title of an existing
tr
video?
try it,
Okay.
yeah? And then change the thumbnail to reflect the title of what that video is about. Because
Yeah.
the chances are, if the title and you know, if it doesn't align with the main content, then maybe it could reach more people. And then, it's just an idea.
I will definitely try that idea. And it's funny that Noelle, her name is Noelle, brought that up, because after I made that video, people in my real life, I call it, you all are my real life, but it's, different. The people
Yeah.
I physically can touch. My mom, one of my best friends, they said, oh my gosh, this is one of my most favorite videos you've made. And literally, Jay, I was sitting in a park at a bench, and it was impromptu. I didn't have even a camera stand. I kind of like put my phone up against something, and I just literally, what Noelle said, I spoke from the heart, but I can't tell you what I talked about. I don't even remember. So it would be good to revisit that, to see if there's like a something I can pull from it to change the title.
Yeah, but it's not just about changing the title, it's about identifying what works, right? So if you went back to that video, or any video that did well, and people connected with you, if you look at the watch time and you think, wow, that video is an outlier, people
Mhm.
watched a lot longer of that one than they usually do, there's probably a reason for it.
I already know what's different about it.
Well,
And it's kind of crazy, because there was no editing.
yeah,
Absolutely no editing.
look at that video I did earlier in the week.
I know, I loved it too, Jay. I loved that video.
Thank you.
And isn't that crazy? These videos that we just spoke from our hearts and we didn't edit are the videos that are hitting with people.
It's about human connection, like
Mhm,
I've said all along.
mhm.
And
But the
that's where there's no amount of optimization that can really, make up for that. Although it can assist with it, it can aid a good video, you
but
know.
there's that part of me, the creative part, I'll call it. I love the films that I make in there of things in my life, but that is what I love. It's not what my viewers love. So does that change things? Some of my viewers love it, like Emmy.
Oh, sorry. There's a balance, isn't it? It's about what you want. So, by all means, it depends what your goal is. If now you're saying, your goal is to grow your channel and reach more people, then
Actually,
obviously you're going to want to make content that people want to watch.
right.
But equally, you, that might not be your goal. It
Actually,
is about keeping. You can stay true to yourself while making content that resonates with people.
I feel like it's not my goal anymore. I think I get caught up in seeing the creators around me, I'll say surpass me in numbers and stuff, and then I question myself as a human. That sounds so dramatic, but like, what's wrong with me? But at the same time, Jay, I don't think I want to blow up and go viral because I really love the personal connection that I have in my community. And if I were to go viral, I think I wouldn't be able to keep up with that.
There you go. Then maybe you've just answered it
Mhm.
because your life is so full. You've got so many
Mhm.
good things going for you, and you're a
Right.
happy person. So, maybe YouTube for you has been that the whole purpose has been to connect with your audience and to enjoy the process. And like you say, if you go viral and suddenly you've got, I don't know, 20,000 subscribers,
Mhm.
that core audience of people who have come to love Tracy and tune in every week to your videos,
Mhm.
it's going to be diluted somewhat, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a really powerful message for anyone out there. I mean, a lot of people will be chasing that growth. A lot of people will be trying to get that holy grail of monetization, and that's another topic entirely. But for some people, maybe that just isn't important.
That brings me to this because I've heard this, and I don't know how true it is, that like you could have 100,000 subs, but you may not make that much money really.
That's very
But
true.
there's other ways to make money on YouTube.
Yeah, there are people out there with less than 5,000 subscribers that make a living on YouTube.
Mhm.
And there are people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers because YouTube AdSense is this, holy grail that everyone thinks, oh, I want to get monetized.
Mhm.
I want to get monetized. And then you can have, tens of thousands of views and you make maybe £2,000 or dollars or whatever.
Mhm.
There are people out there with 5,000 subscribers that have, a digital product or they are coaching people, that make a healthy, sustainable living out of YouTube. There are people with businesses that use YouTube to drive traffic to that business.
Mhm.
And there are so many ways to monetize a channel that don't include. In fact, I would say that Google AdSense, or the monetization that most people think about,
Mhm.
is one of the least efficient ways to make money on a YouTube channel. If that's your goal, if that's your main goal to make money on YouTube.
Mhm.
For me personally, it is a goal of mine, but I make fine money with my main job. I
Mhm.
would like to have, well, I've started to coach people on YouTube. Not because I'm an expert, because there are always people that are willing to, that there are always people that are behind you who can learn from you.
Mhm.
And I have to face up to the fact that regardless of how I like to teach people and spend my time helping people, I've only got so many hours in a day.
Mhm.
So I know that money is a contentious subject, but ultimately I think it's the reason that a lot of us do what we do.
Mhm.
It's not the main reason, but I'm kind of losing track of what I'm talking about here. But there are so many different ways of making money on YouTube that AdSense is probably the least efficient way of doing so.
I almost feel like YouTube puts little carrots in front of you, like, you know, the reaching the 1,000, and reaching 4,000 watch hours. And it's like this little carrot they dangle in front of you that you feel like you have to achieve these goals. And
Yeah, there's a good reason for that. It's because they
yeah.
want people to be creating content
Mhm.
because people come to YouTube to watch content and they make money from pushing adverts in front of those people.
Mhm.
That's how Google make their money,
Mhm.
through adverts, right?
Mhm.
For the most part,
Mhm.
that's a massive advertising business. So I mean, I think I look. There's a metric out there. I think it was less than 10% of YouTubers make any money on Google AdSense, and of those that do, the large majority will make $50 a month.
Wow.
If you looked into the amount of hours you put into a YouTube channel versus the amount of money that you get back, a lot of people on this chat here are monetized. I know Dawn is monetized.
Mhm.
She'll tell you she probably makes more money doing her Uber job than she does from ad revenue.
Mhm.
So of course they incentivize us as creators to keep pushing for these carrots that they dangle in front of us. But the sad reality is not many of us are going to make a substantial income from YouTube. Not in the traditional sense,
Mhm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not particularly popular though. You couldn't really. It's difficult to make a video about that, isn't it? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna have many because people like to see the hope. They like I said earlier, they want to click on the videos that give them the hope
Mm-hmm.
that they do that one thing and they're gonna get rich or get viewers.
Wow. Dawn just, I just glanced over. I haven't been reading these because I'm sorry. Do you see what she said there? That's a
Yeah.
lot.
So
That's
Dawn
a
just said the most she's made is $800 a month,
I think that's a lot of.
and yeah, I mean it is quite a lot. But she said that's the most that she makes, and this is a lady that posts videos almost every single day. She's got 5,000 subscribers. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like airing your dirty laundry in front of the whole world here, Dawn, but that's just an example of somebody that puts so much effort into YouTube. And while that is good money for a lot of people, and she's achieved what many people won't, it just gives you, Dawn, how if you, I'm not asking you to reveal your income here, but if you were to put as many hours into YouTube as if you put as many hours into your main job as you did with YouTube, I'm sure that you'd make a considerable amount more than you do from ad revenue. And that's just a sad reality of this thing that we're chasing. But that doesn't drive views, and it's a bit of a contentious topic, so we don't talk about it as much.
Mm-mm.
But it's the truth. I've looked into a lot of the figures. I've done a lot of research.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We just have to go into it with our eyes wide open because otherwise we're setting ourselves up for disappointment.
That's true. You've said some things to me though that have made me feel better as a creator. I think one time you gave me a statistic. I don't quite remember what it was, but it was like only like I think you said only like 1 or 2%. I can't remember what it was exactly. Um, do you remember?
No, but it was probably around the monetization thing.
Yeah, or
Oh, I think it was 70% of channels never make it to 1,000 subscribers. I
yeah,
think
that's what
I
it
was,
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was telling you that because you were, doubting yourself and doubting your abilities, but in fact, you're in the top 30%.
Yeah, you said something like that, and that like changed my whole perspective. I was like, wow. Because what I always say at the end of every video, and I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to everyone who might want to have a channel or just people in real life, like, don't give up. Because if you give up, you never see what could possibly happen.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Oh, I learned that I can mute my mic while I cough. Much
Oh,
better.
that's nice.
Aren't I the techie? I think it comes down to what Naz said, and Naz told me something, and he made a video about it, and it's not one of his most well-viewed videos. And if you
Mhm.
don't know Naz, check out his channel because he makes some great advice there. It's to know your why, and it's to know why you show up every single day, why people like Imogen show up every
Mhm.
day,
Mhm.
why we do what we do. Because if getting monetized from YouTube and earning money on ads is your goal, you're going to find it really difficult to continue because it's not a quick thing. It might take years, and even when it does happen, you might not make that much money. So there are so many other reasons to do a YouTube channel: self-confidence, the community, personal growth. The list is almost endless. So it's about knowing why you're doing it,
Mhm.
and it's about being honest with yourself.
Mhm.
As difficult as that is sometimes, whilst making money is a nice byproduct.
Mhm.
And if you can make money somehow, then do it. We all need money. We all need money to live.
Mhm.
It's something that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but ultimately, that's why we do what we do a lot of the time. We get up in the morning, we go to work because we need money to pay our bills so that we can eat and put clothes on our children's back.
Mhm.
For those of us that have got them, I don't, but it's a driving force of the capitalist world that we live in, and
Mhm.
that's another topic. But there's no shame in it.
That's
If
true.
that is your why, then fair play.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna try and leave this podcast on a positive note, and it's
Okay.
not quite over yet.
Mhm.
So I don't want everyone just to flock away thinking that it's over and done with. So I would like to know what is your biggest lesson, and please make it a positive one because I don't want to leave here on a downer. What is your what is your biggest lesson for people who have a YouTube channel or maybe thinking about starting a YouTube channel? I think most people here already have one, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
What has been the best thing for you about it, other than the community? Um,
Mm. It's actually an easy answer for me. Finding my voice, a place
That's
where it's almost therapeutic to have my channel and to share my life with people. So I would say that.
that's awesome. That's such a wholesome way to end the podcast as
Mhm.
well. And I think you're definitely doing that. Your channel is so interesting to me. I'll always watch your videos. I always enjoy your videos, and so many other people here do as well. So anytime you ever doubt yourself, just look at those numbers and look at the comments in your videos,
Yeah.
and that'll give you all of the affirmation that you need to hear, I think.
Thank you, Jay.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on with me today, and I'd like to thank every single person that's joined me. It's been great having you with me on this podcast. I only started a couple of weeks ago, and this is my second episode, so I'm still very much learning the ropes. But I hope that it will continue the way it has, and you will join me for another episode next Friday. And until next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everyone.
Mhm.
Right.